Hello, and I'm happy to introduce you a new game, Dark and Darker. This game has struggled throughout its existence with the balancing issues between the class due to the RMS approach to adding things that are fun without the care of balance, which was fine. But they've recently said their latest update will be pushing the game more in the direction they want moving forward, which is a good and bad. The good, it's less of a battle royale and more of dungeon crawler with their changes, big W. The bad, their balancing pushes is to be bad a slow FPS game for the Solos Duos gameplay mode as an underwhelming meta of buff ball in trios where you take the two support classes and spam buffs on one character and send him like a Pokemon. On top of this all, the game still suffers from drastic dissing that affects many aspects of the game from melee swinging manipulation, projectiles registering and spells registering. They managed to dial this dissing in one time with a period for 2 weeks and back in February. The balance in the game has been worse, and worse over the course of the EA that happened off Steam through the Airman self-launcher. The only balancing they have done is a decent jump on the feels as the gear balance they finally settled on recently. They've gone through random periods of gotten class types on multiple occasions, with Rogus nerfs that never sticks and always get rollbacks since their balancing approach is always off are likely the most enraged culprits. It's been a consistent ranging-dominated game in solos and duos for the past 4 months or more, and their recent changes to balance with the vibe only exacerbated the problem further. Your experiences in the normal mode will be a far cry from the actual gameplay mode of a high roller that's locked behind the player for the game. I generally enjoyed the game for a longer while, but it's been an unenjoyable slog the last few months that even with talking breaks for weeks at a time I just can't justify telling other people it's a good state. 1k plus hours and I highly recommend it, especially now that F2P version is out. The game is challenging and fun, both against monsters and players alike. It definitely has a learning curve that you need to give them time before you start seeing improvements. You will die a lot, expect it and learn from it. Once you understand the game little and stop dying with random stuff, it really gets addicting. The free-to-play version is fine of the game and a good introduction at no cost. You're still playing the same dungeon as everyone else who is leveling up and there is no disadvantage in game. Everyone complaining about F2P being playload has most idea of what they're even talking about. You can't use the super upgraded gear until you're level 20 anyway because the high roller is locked behind level 20. All these people complaining about not having the access to high roller have definitely not mastered the dodging mechanics required for high roller runs as they are quite difficult. The normal dungeon is still very fun and challenging until you know what you are doing, and even after you master mechanics they are still enjoyable with a plenty of demi-bosses, bosses and PvP to learn. Once you figure out how the game plays to a T, and then you should decide if you want to upgrade the HR version because it really ramps up hard. And your precious little green and blue gear that you want to use so badly will not save you if you don't understand the monsters. As well, this game has hardly any MTX and those cannot contractly be compatible F2P. I'm not sure how people expect a rapidly growing indie dev company to pay their staff and themselves if the game doesn't cost money or have the MTX system with F2P. The game costs $30 and has been well worth it from the start. I love the game so much. I bought that $40 version because the devs have made it something really special feeling. The atmosphere is exceptional. It really is quite dark and scary with the retreats of being every door and corner. You never know what you'll run into. Iron Man's dropped some cool content with their recent wipe just a day ago, but lately I feel that the cool content is all written by the consistent poor decisions they've made to the balance the game from a fun melee ranged driven RPG into a slow moving range only bad FPS game for the vast majority of the content outside meta trios buff ball play. I hope they turn it around someday since I can get my toys come back and play this game with me in the current state. How can you give the bad review when you put 1600 in? I don't know. Didn't think I would. But I can say I'd recommend the game to friends and all after playing the first couple of days of their web patch with the balance they made in the game. And looking back at the recent months, it's been nothing but things I also couldn't recall. Great content elements, bad balancing that makes playing the content unenjoyable is the issue. I'm still around since I love the game, and what I want to see is come around to better state again, that's more enjoyable. And I think the Iron Man's team are awesome with their transparency and the way they approach the community since the playtests and throughout the EA, and still support them. Just sometimes you gotta let people know there's still issues with the stuff you like still, so they can know what they're getting into. A short update: free to play roles. The game is free to play at the normal mode, but you won't be able to use your gear outside the same rate you find them in. You can go down and fight all bosses across the OVQs. Definitely approach it as a demo of the game for free, not a free game to play the entire game. Trade high roller when you can use gear multiple character slots are part of the full game purchase. But normals is the most fun part of it, the game right now. High roller